Spurgeon here with RevZilla, and today we're going to take a look at Klim's insulated snow gear available at RevZilla.com. So in this video, what we're going to tackle is Klim's line of insulated snow gear. What we're going to do is we're going to work through their entire line so you have a better idea of which pieces will work for your style of snow riding. Now, if you're interested in the non-insulated Klim apparel, we do have a video breaking that down as well, so make sure to check that out if you are not looking to add insulation to your snow wear. So one of the things we're going to hit on first is going to be size and fitment for this. Now, Pat is going to be our model through the entire video, and he's going to be wearing a large in both the jacket and the pants across the line. So there's really not going to be much of a fitment change that you're going to see throughout the pieces that we're going to work with. Now, sizes will range from a small up to a 3XL for nearly all pieces, and each piece will have a variety of different colors in which we'll address within the individual callouts. So that takes us right into the Chaos. Now the Chaos is going to have 4 different colors available, and this is going to replace the Vector as well as the Kinetic within Klim's line. So the Vector and the Kinetic, they're going away, and instead what you're going to get is something that's going to be much more youthful in its approach, much more wild in its color scheme, sublimated graphics. You know, you looked at the old Kinetic, you looked at the old Vector, much more grayscale, toned down. This is much more loud and proud. Really, for those of you out there looking for trail riding that want light layer of insulation, you're getting 180 grams of thin slit insulation with this. This is going to be the piece to really kind of get you started out there on the trail with graphics that are going to be much more youthful in nature. Pat, go ahead and face sideways and just stick that hand up for me for a second. Now from a vent standpoint, you're going to have 2 vents on this. There's going to be an armpit vent on each side just in case you need a little bit of extra airflow through there if you start to overheat. And then go ahead and face backwards for me, sir. You will notice that that graphics scheme is going to stick throughout. So again, loud graphics throughout, and then just go ahead and face me. What you'll notice is that the pants for this, the matching bib, will have the vents running down the side. So you have the full-length zipper that you can use to get in and out of the pants, but you can also, because it's a 2-way zip, pull the top of that down a little bit and get a little bit of venting through the pants. Now the pants for this, the Chaos, Pat, you can go ahead and face forward. The matching Chaos pants, both the jacket and the pants come in around that $300 price point, and the pants on this will have a true full bib design, and they are going to be something that is going to be matched perfectly with the Chaos as far as that 180 grams of insulation. So this is really going to be that same color pattern, 4 colors for the jacket, 3 different colors for the pants, but it really carries through the whole theme of this. Now as we work our way through the video, one of the things you'll see change as we work our way up into thicker insulations is the difference between thin slit as well as thin slit platinum. Now this is going to utilize the thin slit. When you get up in the more expensive pieces, that's where Klim begins to incorporate a little bit of the thin slit platinum, and really the main difference you're seeing between that is the fact that it's going to be a little bit more hydrophobic. It doesn't absorb water as easily as the thin slit can over time, and it is going to be a little more crush resistant, so it doesn't break down as easily. It maintains more of that air gap, which just makes you, it keeps you a little bit warmer throughout the course of a long day's ride. But for those of you out there looking to tackle a little bit of trail riding, you want something that's going to have a little bit more of a wild and crazy graphic, the Chaos, you can get your whole outfit all together for around that $600 price point. Now, let's take a look at the Instinct. Next up, we come to the Instinct jacket. Now, this is an existing jacket within Klim's line, but we're getting 2 new colorways for this year. So the cobalt blue that Pat is rocking on my left-hand side is going to be one of the new colors, as well as the new camo version. So 4 total colors for the jacket. The matching pants will just be available in black. Now, price point, we're looking around $320 for the parka and around $300 for the pants. Really what you have here is an active use jacket. Think light snowmobiling, but really for a variety of different snow sports. This is going to be one that you'll be looking at. 60 grams of thin insulation throughout the entire parka on this. You are going to have a hidden pocket, asymmetrically done on the left-hand side of the chest, dual hand warmer pockets, and then you're going to have 1 vent on this underneath the bicep. So if you do need a little bit of extra airflow through, you have direct venting. Now the one thing to note, all the shells that we're going to take a look at within the insulated line are going to utilize 2-layer Performance Shell Gore-Tex. Now when we talked earlier about the non-insulated video, the non-insulated jackets, a lot of those will utilize 2-layer up to 3-layer Pro Shell. Everything within the insulated line is going to do 2-layer Performance Shell, really focusing on that light layer of insulation. You don't need the maximum amount of breathability when we're getting into some of these insulated pieces. So everything here will utilize that same level of Gore-Tex. Now Pat, do me a favor and go ahead and face backwards for me. So the one thing you'll note, you have a non-removable hood. It is going to be a Gore-Tex lined hood as well. So the Gore-Tex, the insulation carries through the hood. And then as you work your way down to the pants, the one thing you'll note is a non-bib pant. So it's just pants, no bib. And it was going to bump up to a 300 grams of insulation when we get down to the seat. Pat, go ahead and face forward. Now there will be some extra padding in the knees. Nothing here is going to be CE rated, but for those of you that might, fall over on your snowboard, or if you're riding a snowmobile through some light brush, just gives you a little bit of extra impact protection. But really what we're seeing with the Instinct is more of that lifestyle piece. Some light snowmobile use, but really stuff that you can go out and play with in the winter months. And if you're looking at the whole combination, this is going to come in around the $620 price point. Now for those of you that are looking for maximum insulation that's really focused on snowmobile use, let's move on to the Climate. So next up we reach the Climate. This is going to be really focused on warmth at speed. This is also the only jacket which is going to go up to a 5XL in the insulated line. Remember, in the non-insulated line, you had the Tomahawk, which went up to a 5XL. And now with the Climate, for those of you that need a larger fit, in the black color, this does go up to that 5XL version. There are 6 different colors available for this, including 2 different colored camos. Now, for the Climate jacket and the pants, both pieces will come in around the $340 price point, and we are now getting into zonal insulation. So we haven't yet gotten up into the platinum thinsulate, but now we're going to have some different zones of the jacket insulated differently. So the front of the jacket is going to utilize 200 grams of thinsulate, whereas the back of the jacket is going to have 300 grams, and we're going to see that mirrored in the pants as well. And this is going to be our first full bib. So the pants that we're going to see Pat wearing with this will be the first full bib that we're going to have. Now just looking at the jacket, you will notice you have asymmetry coming into style or into play over on the left-hand side. And this is going to be a redesign over the old Climate. The style is much more contemporary. Big block patterns. You're going to see the pops of reflectivity are much more humanoid. They're not just sporadically thrown throughout. So definitely more of a contemporary style. Hand warmer pockets. And then Pat, go ahead and face sideways and just throw the hand up for me. You will notice that you are going to have a pit zip running underneath the arms on both sides for a little bit of ventilation if you do need that. And that's going to work its way down the full bib on this as well. So you will have a full hip size zipper with this to get in and out of the pants, but it's a 2-way zip on the pants, so you can actually use that as a vent if you need a little bit of extra ventilation down the pants as well. And you can go ahead and face backwards for me, Pat. So remember, zonal insulation, 300 grams of thinsulate working its way down the back, as well as down the back of the pants as well. And you can see that more contemporary look. Now this is also going to utilize that 2-layer performance shell Gore-Tex, but you're now getting up into 200D nylon nylon reinforcement as well. So this is definitely going to be a beefier jacket for those of you out there looking to get into snowmobiling. You want to maximize warmth, but you also want something that's going to keep you, protected as you begin to ride a little bit faster, a little bit more aggressive from any kind of abrasion resistance that you might encounter out there on the trail. Pat, go ahead and face forward for me. So really, this is going to be our first step up into something a little bit more complex. You have the zonal insulation with this, 200 grams in the front, 300 grams in the back, focusing a little bit more on warmth and speed, and you're getting a little bit more abrasion resistance as we've now added in that 200D nylon in addition to the 2-layer performance shell Gore-Tex. If you want to take a step up, we want to go even further, we want warmer, we want the most performance-oriented piece in the insulated line. Now is the time we take a look at the Keweenaw. Now, before we dive right into the Keweenaw jacket, this would be a great time for you to go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube so you can keep up with all the new Klim content we have rolling out. Klim has updated their entire line of insulated snow gear, non-insulated, all new goggles. So if you want to make sure you're up to date on all the Klim apparel, go ahead and subscribe to us. And we've got videos galore covering all the new gear from Klim. Now, we've reached the Keweenaw. This is going to be the most versatile and most technical piece within their insulated snow line. And I say that because we're now getting up into thinsulate platinum. It's still going to be zonal. You're looking at 100 grams of thinsulate platinum in the underarm, 200 grams throughout the chest and the outer arms, and then 300 grams along the back. And remember, thinsulate platinum, it's going to be more hydrophobic than traditional thinsulate, and it's going to be more crush resistant, which maintains that air gap, which maintains warmth. Now, when we say, technical and versatile, you're going to have the most amount of vents that we're going to see here that we've talked about so far. You're getting 2 pit zips with venting, and then we're also going to have vents along the back, 2 chest pockets, 2 hand warmer pockets. It is still going to be that 2-layer performance shell Gore-Tex. This is going to maintain that 200D nylon that we just talked about earlier. So this is going to be the most complex shell that we've seen to date, especially when you consider all the different venting that we're going to get with this. Now this is coming around the $440 price point, as is the matching bib. So taking a look at the bib portion, you're going to have 100 grams of thin slip platinum front and back, working your way down to the front of the legs, 200 grams of thin slip platinum, and then around the back it bumps to 300 grams. So Pat, go ahead and face sideways for me, and I actually want to point this out. So we talk about the ventilation on this. You're going to see you're going to have the massive pit zips that we've seen throughout a lot of these pieces, but this is going to give you that massive pit zip for maximum ventilation. We're also going to see an exhaust funnel on the back, but you'll also notice as we work our way down to the matching pants, you are going to have that 2-way zipper carried through. Easy in, but then if you need some extra ventilation, you can carry that zipper, pull it down a little bit at the top, which helps to push airflow through. Pat, go ahead and face backwards. We just mentioned that exhaust vent. You'll notice the exhaust vent runs its way across the entire back of the jacket, and this is going to be that zonal insulation that we mentioned in the beginning, so 300 grams of insulation carrying through the back of the jacket, as well as the back of the matching pants. Pat, you may face forward for me. So for those of you that are looking for something that is going to be very versatile within its use, for around the $880 price point, you can outfit yourself from head to toe with the Keweenaw. Now, if you want to bump into the most insulated piece within Klim's line, that is what you'd be looking at next, which is going to be the Rhone. So let's get right to it. So last but not least, we come to the Rhone, and the beauty about this is if the person wearing this, you don't like them, you simply push them over and they roll around and they can't get up because there's so much damn padding in this. Now this is going to come around the $550 price point. You're looking at massive amounts of insulation. From a platinum thin slit standpoint, you have 400 grams of insulation at the front as well as the back, 350 grams in the armpit, and then there's an additional 200 grams of fleece working its way down the back. Now this is also going to have the most vents out of all the insulated pieces to make sure that you don't overheat. You're going to see that you're going to have chest vents running down either side. In addition to that, you're also going to have bicep vents on the biceps. And then when we flip him around to the back, you'll see that Pat is going to have dual vents running down the back. So 6 vents total for the Rhone. Now this is also going to have the most complex scheme as far as materials are coming into play. What you're going to see here is 600D at the top of the shoulders as well as the elbows, and then you're going to have 200D throughout from a nylon perspective that's going to give you that abrasion resistance, and it's still going to maintain that 2-layer performance shell Gore-Tex. And then if you take a look down the bib on this, or down the pants rather, the other thing you'll note at the front of this, you are going to have the only pants or bib rather that is going to have a vent on the inner thigh, and then you're also going to have that vent running down the entire outer thigh as well. Pat, do me a favor and just go ahead and face straight backwards for me. So taking a look down the back, you will notice that you do have those exhaust vents that we talked about to help airflow push through. And then looking down the entire back, that's where you're going to have that 400 grams of insulation running down the entire back of the pants and the jacket. And remember, like I said earlier, there's an additional 200 grams of fleece down the back of this. So if you're looking for the most insulated piece within Klim's line, it is going to be the Rhone for the jacket as well as for the matching bib. You can turn around, big guy. So from a price standpoint, jacket, pants, each are going to be $550. The matching combination, this is going to set you back right around the $1,100 price point. So you're looking at the most complex materials, the most complex vent scheme that we're going to see within the insulated line, and then the most complex zonal mapping for where the insulation is going to be sitting. And remember, this is going to be that platinum insulation throughout the entire Rhone piece. Now, throughout this video, we really work to break down, more of the entry-level pieces that are a little more active in lifestyle, getting you all the way up into the maximum insulation, something that's a little more sedentary, where you're not moving it around as much when you're out there on your sled. Now, in addition to the insulated pieces, remember, there's going to be that breakdown of the non-insulated pieces from Klim as well as a goggles overview, and all the additional new pieces of Klim that we're going to have rolling out. So make sure to check out those complimentary videos if there's any doubt in your mind that the insulated is the way to go. And you can also click the info button on your desktop or mobile device, which will allow you to read other rider reviews from folks that are already out there putting the Klim insulated gear through its paces. And if you're really still stuck, reach out to one of our gear geeks, 877-792-9455, or simply shoot over an email to cs@RevZilla.com. Thank you for joining us for this look at the Klim insulated snow apparel. I'm Spurge. This has been my model, Pat. Enjoy the ride.